Welcome to the Ninefold Way. In this video, I discuss how ninefold time came to be and where am I in it. In other words, a discussion about time, physics, and non-dual flow. Modern physics denotes time is not what we thought. Contemporary physics has quietly dismantled the naive idea of time as a single flowing river. Relativity shows no single global now. Different observers inhabit different temporal slices, such as time depends on motion, gravity, and frame, and there is no one privileged clock. This dissolves the idea of a single objective timeline. Time may be emergent, not fundamental. In this quantum gravity research example, called the Wheeler-DeWitt equation, time disappears from fundamental equations, and dynamics emerge only when systems interact. This means time appears as a relational phenomenon. Many physicists now speak of thermal time, entropic time, relational time. So, the universe has multiple time scales such as Planck time, particle interaction times, stellar evolution, galactic dynamics, and cosmological expansion. Each of these time scales has its own laws, its own causal texture, its own felt irreversibility. This means there is already a plurality of times. If we garner from ancient insight, we see that time is stratified experience. Ancient explanations of time, like the Buddhist KalaChakra and Sri Yantra, agree on something that physics is only now approaching. Time is not one thing. It is stratified, nested, and embodied. But where modern physics asks, what equations describe time? These ancient systems ask, how does time appear as self, meaning, and stillness? They study time from the inside and discover that 9 aspects of time as emergent phenomena. Here is the key synthesis. Modern physics says, time emerges from interaction. Different regimes produce different temporal behavior. The ninefold systems say each regime produces a distinct sense of reality. Identity forms where a regime is taken as absolute. So the ninefold way of time as 9 phases are not mystical add-ons. They are phenomenological correlations of different temporal regimes. So why does 9 appear? Not 7, not 12. In physics, complexity increases until distinctions are fully articulated. Additional distinctions add no new explanatory power. 9 represents full differentiation of temporal modes before collapse into abstraction. In contemplative systems, this means fewer than 9 leaves blind spots. More than 9 becomes redundant. 9 is the minimum number needed to describe time as lived without remainder. Here we carefully map the 9 ancient stratified temporal aspects of time to physics concepts. We can see in column 1, the 9 lived aspects of time, column 2, the 9 contemplative descriptions, and column 3, the 9 physics counterparts. As we can see, the physics counterparts perfectly align with the 9 lived aspects of time, such as high-energy, short timescale interactions, align with the lived sense of urgent time, and so on. As we can see, physics never privileges one regime as true time, and neither do the ninefold systems. This is where ancient wisdom and modern science quietly agree. The more precisely time is modeled, the less real it becomes. Here in this table, you'll come to see the key parallels of advanced physics observations with non-dual perceptions. Here we observe that advanced physics says equations describe relations. Non-dual perception notes experience is relational. Advanced physics says no intrinsic time flow. Non-dual perception notes no intrinsic now. Advanced physics says observer not privileged. Non-dual perception notes self not privileged. Advanced physics says change equals difference across parameters. Non-dual perception notes change equals difference across appearances. Advanced physics says whole structure exists at once. Non-dual perception notes experience appears whole. From this, another important question arises. If physics doesn't contain flow, why do we experience it? Because flow is a perceptual phenomenon, not a fundamental one. Flow arises when a system with memory observes different relational states in a particular sequence. In other words, flow equals remember difference plus micro-identifications. Time is not an illusion. Identification with time is. Time functions at many levels. We only need to stop concretizing any one of them. This gives rise to non-dual perceptions and flow, which cultivates all-pervasive awareness, Satchit Ananda, which is liberation. If you found this video useful and informative, please share, like, and subscribe to the Ninefold Way. I look forward to reading your comments, and I'm happy to answer your questions below.